Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Total War Attila Western Roman Empire campaign. So, between episodes and between turns, we have been indirectly declared war on by the Abdanians, that is the Celtic faction in Ireland. They have declared war on our new subjects, the Picts, and so we are forced to go into war with them. And fortunately, all of my current puppet states are very pleased to be our puppet states, so we shouldn't see any rebellions or anything happening here, but we will of course be entering the war on the side of our new ally. Now this could go badly for us because of this exact thing right here that they're doing. They're going to take Saguntium and there's very little we can do about it. They're deploying quite a few troops here. I don't see a way that we could ever possibly win this. We could cut down a pretty hefty chunk of them if we were to fight this manually, but I almost wonder if it would be a better use of our time to just auto-resolve it, take the loss, and focus our efforts on getting this back as soon as possible. So we do have an entire legion in Boricum, which is just a single turn's move to Saguntium, so they'll probably just sack this and leave, but if they do take it, we could have it back within a turn. So, how do I want to do this? I think we're just going to auto-resolve and take the loss. We'll be protective. I don't think it's going to make any difference. Oh, one of their ships just sank. Is that my ship, though? I think that was my ship, yeah. Alright. Did they lose anybody? Not really. Not really. And of course we were just outright defeated, but that's what we expected. We just wanted to move on. And oh, they're headed to Corinium next. That might be a bit of an issue, but I can defeat that army with a garrison. I'm not too sure about the larger one though. Okay, so we were robbed of a pretty good chunk of money there, unfortunately, but you know, it certainly could have been worse. Somebody assaulted one of our armies, and it looks like they failed, but they did gain some XP from it. We have some terms of office ending. Oh, okay, so the guy whose term just ended is trying to get himself a promotion. That's kind of stupid. I would have given it to you anyways, and now you've set yourself opposed to me, and I have to do something. Because if I ignore it, I lose control, and we can't afford that, so I have to block it, even though I'd rather not spend the influence because you were too impatient to just let me appoint you. And at least Marinus Celestius was able to get his appointment. So trade agreement broken with the Abdanians, of course. We're at war now. And then that war was declared. Battle of Saguntium was a decisive defeat because we sort of just forfeited it. And I was reorganizing some settlements. I'll deal with that in just a second. So let's go up here and survey how we want to handle this. Now, they could be a problem. I would hope that the Picts could just handle that themselves. Because in theory, I could just march these guys to Saguntium, and then the next turn I could sail over here, and well, I guess I could just subjugate them like that, couldn't I? Could you get there this turn? Because they only have the one province, so if I can assault it and take it in one turn, then that's the end of the war, regardless of what they want to do. I don't think that they can make it there. Let's get you to Saguntium. Even if they land and come our direction, I don't see them posing much of a threat to Boricum. It's just that single army, and it's not even a full stack. They do have a bit of artillery, but nothing that they're fielding has any armor. And Boricum has walls, also a decent garrison, so shouldn't be a bit of an issue. Shouldn't really be an issue. Continuing to tear these down. And we'll need to repair all of this. That is a pretty hefty price to pay, but we need to do it. And so I think next turn this legion is going to hit Ablana. That presumably should end the war, because again they only have one province, so we can subjugate them if we take it. And let's see, in Londinium we're going to want to upgrade to an amphitheater there. I've been going through and trying to find all these that I can. There is in fact one more, but again the idea was that was it here? Yeah. The idea is that we want to get all of these upgraded to amphitheaters before we research that one technology that will prevent us from doing that anymore. So I'm working on that as best as I can. That would be worth upgrading too, as with that. I don't want to get too much into that though. I can do that a little bit later and cut it out. Right now I want to focus on the big stuff that's happening. What is this? Oh, the governor's estate. So let's see. The Huns aren't really doing a whole lot over here. It looks like one of their armies fell back. These guys are still sort of harassing the Alamans, but the Alamans appear ready to deal with it. Oh, the Franks are on the move. That's good. Let's see. I'm going to march you guys a bit further into enemy territory. Well, actually, you're in friendly territory right now. We're going to push up and make sure we leave just enough action points to fortify ourselves. That should be about right. And if anybody were to attack this, I believe we would be in reinforcement range. It's possible that we won't. We'll see. The Franks don't strike me as being all that... Oh, that might be a bit of an issue. If they attack... If the Alamans attack this and try to take it, I will decline to join them, and they'll have to fight it themselves. If they're able to take it themselves, I can't really do anything about it, but I doubt that they'll be able to beat that garrison with this army. Even between the two of them, it might be difficult. So, yeah, I will decline to help in order to make sure the Franks get it, if I can. I can deceive him. That's not really going to do anything for me, though. I need to be able to kill these guys, and I need heroes to do that. You can continue to harass that army. And we'll have to figure out where the other one went. Let's see. We were successful again. Let's move you this way. Maybe they're in this area here. Yep, there they are. Go ahead and hinder them as well. And this should allow us to really slow the Huns down. Especially if we continue to be successful and keep leveling up these spies. Now, it's not really worth our time. Where was the other one? To keep a spy here. He can't really do anything to that priest, so I think I'd rather have you like out here somewhere. Move to there for now. And let's see, you can finish your movement this turn. We'll take him out of what is effectively force march so that he can recruit this turn. We'll drop him in Salona and start recruiting some troops. And the way I wanted to build this army is a combination of different types of heavy melee infantry, not necessarily pike infantry. So, because the Armagiri Defensores have the offensive testudo formation, or mobile testudo formation, which allows them to set up in testudo and move, I think I want to employ them as my frontline troops. So we'll get 4 of them. We're still going to use Legio Comitatensis, and they're going to be sort of like a second tier, just like if we were deploying them with the pikes, but they can't be in testudo and move at the same time, which means that the testudo only really helps them in defensive situations. But unlike the Armagiri Defensores, they have throwing weapons. So if I put them in the second tier of troops, they can avoid missile fire, so they don't get punished for not being in testudo, but they can throw missiles of their own. And so I think that'll be a good combination for a more offensive-oriented army, especially one that's besieging stuff, because we can put these guys in the front, testudo them up, march them forward, let them soak all the missiles, while the Legio advance behind them. We're still going to run some Auxilia Palatina as sort of end caps for our flanks, just because they're good at, you know, holding off cavalry over there. And we'll run, I'll have to decide what kind of cavalry I want to run. It'll probably be a mix of heavy and very light. If we can get some Germanic mercenary cav, I may consider that, just because you guys know how much I like those, and they're fairly inexpensive. And then we'll complement that with something a little bit heavier. And then, of course, a bit of artillery. Now, with this legion, I think I'm going to scrap it and start training a new one that we can use to some effect somewhere. I may send it north, because it seems like having one legion up there is... I mean, the thing is, as soon as this war is over, we really have no threats in the northwest except for the Geats. So maybe that's unnecessary. But there's certainly other uses for this legion. So all of these Germanic pikes are going to go. Basically all of this stuff. Except for I will keep this cavalry around, because that's the cavalry I would probably be using anyways. So disband all of them. And let's see. We're going to have to move you in order to start recruiting. Let's see. You could at least recruit Legio there. So maybe I should move you over there. Get you started in that spot. But more likely than not, we'll build this legion the same as this one. And maybe send them as expeditionary forces to the east to help deal with the Sassanids. So, let's go ahead and recruit 1, 2, 3, 4 of you. Probably won't be doing any Madiari. I don't like skirmishers that much. They may as well be Ballistari if I'm going to bring them for additional range. I mean, not that they aren't good. Madiari are pretty good. It's just that they take a lot of microing, and if I already have a bunch of cavalry I have to worry about micromanaging, it's less than ideal. So, let's jump down to Africa and make sure that these guys are moving still. Yeah, I need you to get to the next town. How are we doing over here? Is the public order kind of taking care of itself? It is. It's surprisingly doing very well, given that, well, you guys are still technically there. We don't have any military presence, so they're not counting toward this in any way. We will want to build some fields for food, and then here, this is going to be some sort of sanitation structure. And that's looking pretty good. We have plenty of food, so I don't need to upgrade any of this any further. We need to focus more on public order. That would be worth it, actually. Let's get an aqueduct there. It's not that sanitation's an issue, but this is also giving us public order, so it doesn't hurt to do it. Except it does add a little bit of maintenance cost, but honestly, 100 per turn is pretty insignificant. That's cheaper than any single melee infantry unit that we're fielding, so it's like it's essentially the same as having like half of a Legio added to an army. It's not that much. Alright, well, I'm going to pan around a bit and see if there's any other upgrades that are like immediately necessary, and I'll come back to look at politics and diplomacy when I'm done. Okay, so that's all of our money spent. Let's jump into politics and see what we can do. We need a new Supreme Commander. I was really hoping I could get Titus Pullo back into that position eventually, but he's just not accruing enough influence. So Vindonius was the one that... No, you're already there. Sorry. It was Vedius. He was the one that was trying to reappoint himself, and I had to block it. We're going to appoint him there now. Again, all he had to do was wait. He was going to get that spot anyways. And I don't really want to spend any more influence, but I kind of need to right there. Is there anybody who would be able to bail me out and do that for me? I'm guessing not, because that's going to require quite a bit of influence just to ensure that it's successful. So I think the Emperor is going to have to do that one. Where was it? 7, 9, 9... There, 3. Okay. Gaius Lucullus. Let's go ahead and secure your loyalty, because that is very low. I'm sure there's others. His is pretty low as well, but he's not actively... When did this happen? Oh, because we went back down. Right. Yeah, that's pretty rough. We have a lot of people that might be turning on us pretty soon here. We've done pretty good so far. We haven't had anybody betray us, but still, it's kind of on the verge of happening now. If we could just get our control back up, that'd be great. The thing, though, is every time I send somebody to do it, they fail, and then we lose control. Pontia, can I trust you to make this happen? I'm going to try it. We need support. And let's see. I could try spending some of his as well. You know, I trust him more than her. Because if anything happens, he has enough influence to maybe fix it. She doesn't. So, we'll see if that can get anything done for us. And then, I don't think there's really anything we need to do in diplomacy, but let's just take a quick look. So, we're at war with them now, no more trades. This is still continuing in the right direction, and now that we're at war with the Abdanians together, they'll like me even more. Still at war with you guys, not that that really matters. Yeah, I mean, everything's going sort of as expected. I'd like to turn these guys into allies. Unfortunately, our relation with them is kind of souring. I'm not really sure why. I guess it's just because our empire is so big. That's really all I can think of. They don't like the Eastern Romans either, but they're at war with the Huns just like we are. And it would be nice to have an ally in that area that, like, because I obviously don't want to conquer that far east. But if they're part of our alliance, that counts, those provinces count toward a military victory. So it would be useful, and then we could potentially have them striking at the Huns from the east while we hit them from the west. So I could throw money at them, but I don't have enough right now. But that is something to think about. And then we have you guys and you guys. They're actually at war with like all the factions in this area that we are. I'm surprised we're not on better terms with them. And that we're deteriorating. I guess they just really, yeah, they hate rival empires. That's the thing. So if he wasn't their leader, we'd probably be fine. But yeah, we share a lot of enemies. They might just get conquered though. I don't see them lasting very long. They only have the one province. And just about everybody else is at war with us. Okay, well, not much we can do about that. Let's go ahead and advance the turn then. Oh, we have a lot of level ups. So, Saturninius, sure, Pavo. You are a governor. We don't have a lot of cultural buildings, so that's not going to help so much. Let's do a little bit of free public order and a little bit of lower corruption. And then Anatolius Venarius. You're a governor as well. We'll do the same thing then. Okay, so the Huns continue their agent shenanigans. And a little bit more of them. What do we have here? Wavering loyalty. Yeah. We'll try to do something about it. Another term of office is ended. Oh, several. And, goddamn, enemies in high places. So, let's see. The opposition party has frustrated your efforts to gather support. We can either spend 25 of our own influence to gain 6 control or sacrifice 4. Unfortunately, he is too short of being able to do this himself. So we have to step in. We cannot afford another minus to our control. So balance of power shifts. That may get us out of weak, which means we may get that +1 loyalty. Office secured with no help. That's good. Loyalty secured. That's good as well. Let's take a look at this. So we're back to acceptable, which means +1 loyalty. So I think all those 3s just became 4s, and we should be in a little bit better shape. Yeah. That's it. Oh, we still have some 3s. But I am out of influence at this point, so there isn't a lot I can do about it. Now, if all these children would grow up a little bit more quickly, that would certainly help. But what can we do? You're a general. That would be very bad if you turned on us. I wish the mouse scroll wheel wasn't so finicky in this menu. I could promote you. Let's put you there. And I guess I'll take you and put you there. Now that's dangerous because potentially I could fail the appointments or something and have to spend more influence to bail them out. But I don't have a lot of other options. We have another 4 right there. Man, it's become more of an effort managing our generals and governors than fighting all these wars. Like, that's the true challenge here. So she has 38 influence. We're going to try to secure his loyalty with that. Sorry about that, guys. I have a school behind my house, and the only way they are able to communicate with each other there is via PA system. So they like to make a lot of noise, and it's quite annoying. Anyways, I'm going to continue sending this priest up to Tusis, where he's going to try to convert those Picts to Christianity. The Ibdanians have seen my plan here, and they've all retreated back to Iblana in the hopes of defending it. Now, we could probably defeat them with what we have here. I don't know what sort of garrison they have here. Oh, it's actually pretty substantial. I guess if you only have one province, you got to defend it pretty well, right? So that's, I mean, that's a lot of troops to deal with. We're looking at, what is that? So 5 right here, 3, that's another 5, so 14. They're deploying 14 troops, plus, I mean, these kind of count as well, so maybe 16. And that's not counting, you know, the 10 here, plus the 20 there, so, what, another 35? Yeah, that's a lot of units for this one legion to deal with. But they can't really do anything from there. They're kind of just stuck. So, I don't mind playing the long game there. I'm not going to lose anything by doing that. I could maybe blockade their port. Are they trading with anybody else? I guess that's kind of important to know, isn't it? They are not, no. So that wouldn't really hurt them all that much. Unfortunately. I don't know that we would really gain from it either. This place is all repaired, so that's good. I should really... The problem is, like, we need these buildings here, but if we didn't have that lead producing structure there, I'd probably add a garrison building like we have in Colonia Agrippina. Would be pretty useful. So the Alamans did make a push to besiege this. I'm just going to abandon them and head back. If the Franks aren't going to do it, I'm not going to help. And I'll probably remove the war target too. Oh, jeez. Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, no, that is 3 armies. I thought it was 3 full stacks, though. They're raiding the Alamans, however, not us. Not the us. Right, so I'm going to target them. Somebody go and see if you can defeat those guys. We'll see what comes of that. I will do my best to slow them down. So I'll have every spy in the area try to hinder them. Can you get there? Doesn't look like you can. Oh, critical failure. So he was wounded? That sucks. That army moved further than my spy could. Well, we'll get you over in that area. You can continue to harass this army. Maybe you'll level up as well. Success! Great. Level up? No. Yes. Took a second there. Right, let's unlock some new abilities for you. And is there anything we need to do over here? We should keep building up those legions before I forget. So you guys are going to need to shift south. You can recruit those Legio from anywhere, so... I might need to put you in like Sirmium or something. Or you could just swap positions, I guess. Move to there. You move down to here. Don't run into each other. Oh, you ran into each other. Crap. Really? Alright, well, we're not doing it this turn then. I could force march them in there, but they won't be able to recruit, so it's kind of irrelevant. And at least you guys can make it now. They had enough extra movement where I'm kind of surprised that they weren't able to actually get in there. I should have sent one by sea. That would have been smarter. Right, so we need 4 of you. And following that, we'll get a little bit of Auxilia Palatina, and then maybe some Equites Dalmate. The thing is, they're not very heavy, though. I could go with the Cataphractari. They're really expensive, though. Maybe I'll do the Equites Dalmate and some of the Germanic cavalry that they already have. When they ran into each other, I should have passed one over. That would have been smart. Why isn't this upgraded? Let's get that upgraded. And I guess more food wouldn't hurt, but I won't do that right away because that might not be worth it. Okay, so keeping our armies in Africa on the move. I'm going to send these guys to Sabrata. And this one is capable of moving a little bit farther. I guess we don't need to stop in every town, so let's just keep pushing them through. How are we doing over here? Things should be pretty good. Yeah, that's going to slowly tick back up. If we put a governor here, we could actually lower that immigration penalty. But the instability is going away on its own. So eventually this will settle at like +7. We're getting a -3 from a character, but I don't know who. Is it this guy? I guess there's no way of us knowing. I'm pretty sure it's none of my characters, unless it's the Emperor himself, because there's no governor of that province. No, yeah, it's the Emperor. Apparently he's just too cruel. Who's your heir, by the way? Because you are getting a little bit up there in age. He's only 38, but started at like 18, so it's been a while. It's been a little while. That's your son. That is your bastard son. So I think Spurius Popitius Malleolus is going to be the heir, unless we decide to make it one of like the adopted sons, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. No, we want to keep them in positions of power, sure, but we're not going to make them our heir. So I think it's got to be him. Although we could make, I don't know that we can make her the heir. Anyways, it's not really important right now. I have a lot of money to spend. Perhaps I should do that and make a cut here. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so with that, all of our money is spent, and I think we're about ready to advance the turn. I believe we've already handled all of this business, right? Yeah. And there's nothing really to do in diplomacy, so that is the end of the turn, but it's also more or less the end of the episode, so I think I'll just go ahead and call it here. I'll advance the turn between episodes, and we'll come back with a fresh turn next time. If the Abdanians decide to move at all, I will attack them. I regret not trying it immediately, but we weren't quite in range. It seemed like we might have come up just short. I don't think we can take them with their current numbers, but if any of those armies leave, it may be an opportunity worth, you know, trying to take or to capitalize on. So I'll keep an eye on that, and this legion will be ready to go. I could try to send them help. I may have to, just to ensure that we're able to deal with that, you know, very, very quickly. I don't know that the picks are going to help us. I could shift this legion up there and then send maybe... I would be very reluctant to send any of these because that's a lot of Huns. But maybe this legion here can recruit as they travel in that direction. So if that one, you know, goes there, then we can shift this one through Gaul and have them stationed there. Or something to that effect, just because, you know, we do have legions kind of sitting around over here. We need them guarding, but, you know, these new ones can kind of go help us out in other areas. Eventually, though, I do intend to send them southeast, so that's a whole other thing. But I guess, yeah, that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Total War Attila with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.